One of America's oldest castles is far from where you might imagine it, not along New York's Hudson River, nor even Chicago's Gold Coast. Hi everyone, Ken here. Hit that subscribe button and let's explore this house. In 1817, Francis Key Hunt was born in Lexington, Kentucky to a family of considerable wealth and status. His father, John Wesley Hunt, had amassed a fortune as a merchant and investor in hemp rope manufacturing, banking, insurance, and other ventures. Growing up in this privileged household, young Francis was raised with an excellent education and connections. He was even named after his mother's cousin, Francis Scott Key, the very author of the Star-Spangled Banner, hinting at the prominence of his extended family. Hunt's education took him first to Transylvania University in Lexington and then to Kenyon College in Ohio, an Episcopal institution. It was at Kenyon that Hunt encountered the Gothic Revival style that would later define his home. Kenyon's campus featured one of America's earliest collegiate Gothic buildings, complete with battlements and pointed arches, leaving an impression on the young Kentuckian. In 1840, Francis married Julia Warfield, a Lexington socialite from another wealthy family. As a wedding gift, Julia's parents gave the couple a sprawling tract of land known as the Meadows, located just outside the city of Bryan Station. This generous land grant provided the perfect setting for a future estate. Hunt's finances grew even stronger in 1849 when his father passed away during a cholera epidemic, leaving Francis a massive inheritance reportedly exceeding $1 million, the modern equivalent of over $42 million. With a fortune at his disposal, Francis suddenly had the means to build a residence befitting his standing. He dreamed of something extraordinary, not just another Greek Revival mansion like those of his neighbors, but a home that would turn heads and reflect the romantic taste of the era. The stage was set for Loudoun House to rise. Fatefully, the couple had spent the summer of 1849 traveling in Canada and the northeastern United States to escape the cholera outbreak in Lexington. While in New York City, the Hunts caught the sight of a striking Gothic Revival villa designed by architect Alexander Jackson Davis for businessman W.C.H. Waddell. The house, perched on Murray Hill, was a castellated Gothic mansion unlike anything back home in Kentucky. Francis was captivated. Nothing of the sort had been built in Lexington, and Hunt returned determined to bring the same romantic Gothic grandeur to the Meadows. In 1850, Hunt contacted Alexander Jackson Davis to design his home. Davis never set foot in Kentucky for this project, yet over the next few years, he and Hunt engaged in a lively correspondence. They exchanged more than 30 letters and numerous drawings as Davis custom designed a Gothic Revival villa to suit Hunt's sight and needs. Loudoun House's design is a textbook example of the Gothic Revival's romantic, irregular beauty. The mansion sits atop a gentle knoll and presents a long, asymmetrical facade that rises and falls with varied rooflines and projections. A 4-story octagonal tower anchors one end of the frontage, its battlements and pinnacles immediately evoking a castle. Near the center, an inviting, 2-story gabled entryway features an open Gothic arcade, a porch of pointed arches forming a groin-vaulted outdoor cover. Above this arcade, a trio of tall, narrow lancet windows lights the second-floor hall. Building such an ambitious home was neither quick nor cheap. Hunt initially budgeted around $10,000 for the project, a substantial sum at the time, but coordinating with an out-of-state architect via correspondence proved costly. Davis's elaborate design and the challenges of specialized construction caused the expenses to balloon. By the time Loudoun House was completed around late 1852, the final price tag was about $30,000, roughly 3 times the original estimate. But in the end, it was worth it, as Hunt wrote back to Davis upon its completion that it was the handsomest building in Kentucky. With all that being said, let's make our way towards the front door and begin exploring the interiors. Swinging open double doors, we step into the entrance hall, where a grand staircase sweeps away to the second floor below a coffered ceiling. Let's continue through the pointed archway beneath it. This leads us to the library, where diamond-paned bookcases rise from floor to ceiling, and the framed pictures protrude from the walls overlooking the fireplace's pointed mantel. Let's continue through the passageway on the right-hand side. This brings us to the largest room in the house, the drawing room, which spans from the front to the back of the house. Facing the fireplace in this room, a massive bay window is recessed into an alcove, allowing natural light to flood the space. And certainly, let's not forget to look up, where we find intricate hand stenciling decorating the coffered ceiling. Now, had we entered the house the way we were supposed to as guests, we would have been ushered to the right of the staircase. This is the reception room, where we should have had a seat to await our host, but can you really blame me for just wanting to dive in? Anyways, getting back to it, we can step around the corner to find the dining room in all its Gothic splendor, from pointed doors to tracery found along the fine wood furniture. Francis enjoyed his life in his self-made castle for many years until April of 1879, when he passed away at the age of 62. For a few years, Mrs. Hunt continued to live at Loudoun, but the practical burdens and finances likely played a role in her next decision. In 1884, she sold Loudoun House, marking the end of the Hunt family's ownership. The house passed through several hands, then, by the mid-1920s, the city of Lexington acquired Loudoun House and its grounds as part of a plan to create a public park. The mansion itself found a new purpose as a community center, an early example of historic preservation through adaptive reuse. Though, as the decades continued to pass, the house needed more maintenance than could be afforded it. By the early 1980s, a renewed appreciation for Victorian and Gothic Revival architecture was in the air. The Lexington city leaders and local preservationists looked for ways to restore and enliven the old mansion. In 1984, Loudoun House became the home of the Lexington Art League, an organization devoted to contemporary art and community engagement, a purpose the mansion continues to serve to this day. And with that, I'll turn it over to you. What did you think about this mansion? Did you have a favorite room? Let me know down below in the comments section, and while you're there, make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an exciting episode of This House.